keep us right on track, partly because we have a ton of stuff we want to show you when we think about connecting Microsoft Teams and Kronos. We've done a lot of great work together with Kronos, and we've got a couple other people here who will be joining me. One from Kronos, Mike will be walking us through a little bit of their work, and then Swati will be walking us through some of the work that we've done recently as well. Again, also, thank you for showing up at the end of the week. I know this is always a long week. For us, it's kind of like our Super Bowl. Right? Like, we love this week. We spend a lot of time getting ready for this week, and we love kind of the response we've seen. And I know it's a long week, but the fact that you guys are here, we're super excited to share some of the work we've been doing, particularly with Kronos. Before we do this, just maybe by a show of hands, how many people have investments or existing investments in like workforce management, HCM? Perfect. And then maybe it's the other hand, how many people have investments in kind of Microsoft 365, or just kind of our modern workplace? Perfect. You are in the right session, because what we've done is we've done a lot of great work to bring that together. Both Kronos and Microsoft, we kind of share a common mission, which is we want to enable people to work more efficiently, effectively, and achieve more. To do that, it means we have to give them the tools they need to be successful. It means we have to give them access and kind of employee self-service tools to be able to kind of manage tasks, activities, shifts, and schedule management. In this session, we'll walk a little bit through what that looks like and spend a little bit more time on schedule management. When we kicked this off, and we've both kind of been working together really closely, we started seeing some obvious overlaps of places that we wanted to bring our solutions together. And the first place is really around schedule management. So how do you kind of ensure you've got a kind of cost-effective, a compliant, and effective coverage in your workforce? And to do that with Modern Workplace and kind of Microsoft 365, Microsoft Teams, we've got a great solution. Within Kronos, we've got this great solution. If we bring those together, we can really do more. With that, I will hand it over to Swati, who will talk you through where we're going within Firstline Workers.
Hi everyone, thank you for joining us here. I'm Swati Jawar, Product Manager with Microsoft Teams. I'm so excited to share with you the journey how we are empowering the Firstline workforce, and at the same time in our entire value chain to make our company successful. We are parallelly focused on getting executives and information workers also to be successful in their day-to-day work. Let's talk a bit about Firstline Workers before we get deep into demos and walking through the capabilities we are bringing to Microsoft Teams for Firstline Workforce. So who are Firstline Workers? They are the first who represent your brand to your customers. They are the first who engage with the operations and various different processes that you're implementing in your company. But they do have a lot of unique challenges. They feel super disconnected from their corporate. They are prone to using the processes and operations which are not secure or are non-compliant. They are stuck in using obsolete technology or tools and manuals to get their day-to-day work done. How we can empower them is what we are focused on in today's discussion. With Microsoft Teams for Firstline Workforce, we are, for the first time, bringing all their fundamental technology needs together. We want to empower our Firstline workforce with communications, collaboration, access to their industry apps, all their line of business apps, and now, most importantly, shift management experience into Microsoft Teams. As a shift manager, I can use Teams desktop client to plan schedule for the members in my team. Once I publish it, my Firstline workforce can use Teams mobile client to quickly get to know the shifts that they have to execute, the various things they have to perform in their entire day, and just get super productive by having all the access of the technology they need for their day-to-day work. Let me quickly take you through the demo where I'm going to focus on first starting with Team Shifts experience. What is that? So as you can see here, Teams is offering all the various components for communication, for collaboration, access to the documents, and the entire story of extensibility. Along with that, now we are lighting up shifts management experience into Teams. This is a view of a shift manager who is the owner of this team. and as planning schedule for all the various members in the team under different groups, planning them for a week, for a month, and then just releasing the schedule. Let me take you to an integration of how shifts can work with Kronos Workforce Central Solutions, workforce management solutions to bring both the experiences together, and it's an opportunity to offer it to our first-line workforce and address the historically technology fragmented experiences for them. I'll start my experience by going into switching team, which gives me an option to create a team right here, bringing members from Kronos. What it is going to do here is create a Microsoft Teams team. I can name it, say, it also helps me pick the right time zone in which I'm creating the team so that I don't keep doing mental math as I'm planning the schedule for the workers in my team. So now, as a Microsoft Teams team gets created, it gives me an option then to quickly log in into Kronos with my manager credentials. What it will do now is, because I'm logging with my manager credentials, it can pull all the hyperfine queries which are linked with my account. And different hyperfine queries are used to manage different people with their different schedules. So let's say I pick this query associated with my account and move further. Now it will pull all of those people and give me an option to choose amongst those people which ones I want to add as members into my team, which I just created. So let's say I decide to move Graham and Vineet as two people who will be now added as members to the team which I created, and I'm the owner. So I'm the manager and these are my employees which I'm pulling from Kronos. Now once they get added into that team, this is where the shift schedule experience, highlighting the contours of West Store, which the team we created, both the employees are now here. Now comes the most interesting part, that I can import their schedule from Kronos. So while doing this, let me pick these 2 days and try to import their schedule. The beauty that comes by importing the schedule for these employees from Kronos is, I get the advantage of the richness of schedule forecasting that Kronos offers, and which we can bring together with this integration into Microsoft Teams Shifts app. The scheduling forecast is really important when managers are planning based on the last year events, different sales and different operations that they did in the entire year, which empowers their scheduling forecast. And now, as I pull their schedule from Kronos to highlight them into my Team Shifts app, I'll be able to do add, edit shifts while using Microsoft Teams Shifts app, and also be able to publish it for them. It's just taking time, just bear with the internet. So yeah, while it is importing, what exactly it's doing is trying to pull the schedules for these two employees. Yeah, so it's trying to pull the shifts for these two employees into my Teams experience, and it worked successfully, thank God. So here I see their shifts coming. So here I see their shifts completely ported from from Kronos into Microsoft Teams Shifts app. Now, let me try to add a shift for Graham into this experience. And you can see it's also taking the advantage of the rules violation which Kronos offers, because I've imported these employees from Kronos in a hyperfine query related to my manager account. So it seems like I'm violating certain rules and I cannot assign a schedule to Graham. So I'll go ahead and delete this one. I can also at any time go ahead and add more members into this team, because now that hyperfine query is linked to this particular team. So I can search for more people from that query and just add them into this schedule. So with this, I'm able to pull their schedule, I'm able to do any edits or updates, and real time they're all getting updated back into Kronos. So for example, let me give it a try by adding a shift for Ruchir here. I can add time, give him different colors or themes depending on how the company has implemented the schedule planning. I can add notes, I can add a lot more activities into it. and let me just go ahead and save it. Once I save it, let me show you my Kronos experience. This is where that employee Ruchir is, and he currently has no schedule assigned on Friday. This is the one I just created him for Friday, and let me go ahead and publish this. Now, when I go ahead and share it with my team, and it gets successfully published, now I can go and check in my Kronos. And it will real-time update back that schedule shift which I created from Microsoft Teams into Kronos. While that is doing that, let me highlight a few more facts. Now, because it's part of the entire Teams ecosystem, I can communicate, collaborate with all my employees right from here. I can go back to the Teams member view, and I can start a group chat or a discussion right from the Teams with all of them. I can manage the membership also into this team. Being an owner of the team, and they are all my employees here, I can manage their membership as well from here. So now let me switch it and show you the experience onto the mobile client. So as you remember, Graham was one of the members into my team, and I published my schedule to all the members. So this is what Graham's experience is. He at once got a notification on Team Shifts app where he can see your manager has published a new schedule. He can go into his Shifts app and also can check these are the various shifts that are assigned to him. He can go and switch the different teams in which he is working, but at the same time, it can also pull in the team that we just created, bringing in schedules from Kronos. And while going through all of those shift schedules here, these were the 2 shifts that were assigned to Graham. He can also take a look. He can swap his shifts, offer his shifts. Everything is getting updated real-time back in Kronos. He can also request a time off right from here. So for instance, he wants to take a time off for personal, and then he picks up a date from here. So it selects a start time, and then picks an end time to it, and then requests for time off. What it is doing for the manager view is that manager is getting to see, okay, one of my employees is requesting a time off here. Manager can take a call to either accept it or decline it. And once manager does that, it gets real-time updated back for the employee that how the action has been taken. So let me just go here and deny the time off. Once I do that, it will give a notification back to the employee that your manager has declined the time off, and it gets back all updated back into the Kronos. So with that, I would like to conclude by saying that it's an opportunity with Microsoft Teams Shifts app and Kronos to come together and offer a unified experience to a first-line workforce and make them super successful. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Swati. So my name is Mike May. I'm a senior director at Kronos in our engineering department. Steve Lampke is also in our engineering group. He's going to drive in our live demo. Swati and I both chose the brave route to actually do live demos. And so Steve's going to log into a couple things while I introduce Kronos and what we're doing together. So for those who aren't familiar with Kronos, we are a privately held company, but pretty big, $1 billion in sales. We used to be public. We went private about 5-7 years ago or so. And are probably the biggest player, in time and attendance and scheduling, right? And so we go across a number of different verticals: retail, manufacturing, healthcare are some of our bigger ones. So in retail, you name them, right? Target, Kohl's, Kroger, T-Mobile, all big retail providers. Actually, 8 of the top 10 US retailers work with Kronos. In manufacturing, Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, General Motors, and actually 6 of the top 10 auto manufacturers, including Tesla, use Kronos. And then on the healthcare side, and that's what we're going to show you today, it's kind of a demo using the healthcare persona. Ascension Health, the largest nonprofit hospital system, uses us. But Intermountain Health, Cleveland Clinic, you go down the line, 3,000 of the 5,000 hospitals in the US use Kronos. So now that you've heard our name, if you aren't familiar with us, start looking around. You'll see the clocks on the wall. That's our heritage. They're punching into the wall of a hospital or retail. You'll see them everywhere now. But then we do a lot of the software behind the scenes as well. So we love the partnership with Microsoft because we, too, focus on that frontline employee, right? So hourly employees and punching in and out and what they're doing throughout the day as well as scheduling them. And so Swati showed you the integration that we have in place now with our Workforce Central solution, which is our legacy product. We have about 6,000 customers that are using our Workforce Central product. Steve and I are going to show you what we're building, and actually it's in production now. You can go out to the Team store and search Kronos and you'll see it. Our integration to Workforce Dimensions, which was just announced last November, and is our move into a multi-tenant cloud SaaS offering. And so, we're in the process of migrating as many of those customers from Workforce Central over to Workforce Dimensions. But what's great with Microsoft is you have options on both sides. So we have two personas we're going to show you in healthcare. And I brought some props to make it easier for you to know who I am. So one, I'm going to be a nurse. And so when I have my stethoscope, you know that I'm Mike, the nurse. And then I also have my clipboard for my manager persona. And so when I have a clipboard, just like any good manager has a clipboard, you know that I'm Steve, the manager. And so we're going to go into teams, right? And so I'm Mike, the RN. I work in an emergency room in a hospital system and come in a little bit early before work, and I log into Teams because that's my central hub for all my communication, right? And so you can see 3 teams on the left-hand side that Mike belongs to, right? There's one for the hospital, there's one for the critical care unit, and then there's one for the emergency room that he's a part of. And so he'll scroll through there and look at the different teams. He'll see flags for things that he's mentioned on that are specific to him. He'll see other things that are new out there. And so the first thing he sees there in red is that Steve Lamke, his boss, right, sent him a message about making sure certifications are up to date. And so it says, go look in SharePoint and make sure your certifications. And so you see at the top there, the file flag, that's the link to SharePoint, right? So he goes over there, shows the Excel document. He's able to open the Excel document, see all the information about the certifications, confirm that all his information is correct. He could change it, correct it, do whatever he wanted. In this case, he's just going to note that everything looks correct, close it back out, go back to that conversation and send his boss a message, say, hey, everything looks current for me. I'm all set. And so just that easy, right? And so those are things that are just part of SharePoint. Nothing that we built there. It's just kind of part of the persona and how a nurse might use it. But now I'm going to transition and start showing you things that we built specifically for teams. And so the first one that he's going to be doing is around his schedule. So Mike has a doctor appointment later that day, and he couldn't remember if he signed up for the 8-hour shift or the 12-hour shift. And he's hoping it's the 8-hour shift. So he goes out to the chat bot, and he types in, what's my schedule? And when he types that in, logging in. You need to be in the chat bot. You do that, not in the conversation. So there's a chat bot and there's a conversation area. So he goes out to the chat bot, types in, what's my schedule? The APIs go out to Workforce Dimensions. They pull in the information. It says, selects his current schedule, and then brings up the different days that he's working. And so you can see, oh, shoot. I am signed up for the 12-hour shift, not that 8-hour shift. So he knows he needs to submit a request for some time off because he wants to take personal time. So again, right within that same chatbot, he types in take time off. And he has a lot of different options of what he can do with time off. He can do, at the very top, you see vacation, training time, float time. And so in this case, he's going to take some float time, right? Because he doesn't want to take the whole day off. He just wants to take part of the day. And he can go under the advanced options there. He can pick a couple hours. He can pick a full day. He can pick a half a day. So he's going to submit that request. And that's going to go to his manager, Steve, to see if he can be approved for that. And so while he's waiting for that approval to come in, he remembers that he forgot to punch in after lunch last week. And so he wants to make sure, and he told his manager, he went up to Steve and said, hey, Steve, can you correct this punch for me? But he wants to make sure that it happened. So he goes into the chatbot, says, show me my punches, types it in, and brings in all of his punch information. So now he can validate, right, that he's getting paid correctly. Sees that that punch went in, he kind of thinks good things about his boss, Steve. And now he notices the time, right? It's time to start work. And so of all the things that we've shown you, this is probably the easiest, right? Just punch me in. Just punch me in. But yet it's probably one of the most impactful for a couple reasons. One, as a nurse or as any frontline employee, you don't need to walk down the hall, and because our clocks are kind of expensive, they're about $3,000. Sometimes people buy fewer clocks and put them farther apart, so you don't have to even walk to a different floor and punch in, right? So punch right in from where they are, and they're done, right? They get a confirmation, and they're done punching in. So really a neat piece there that's super easy to do within the chatbot. So that is Mike. Did I get everything? I didn't forget anything, did I? Okay, cool. So let me switch. So now I'm going to be Steve, the manager. And so kind of a similar approach, right? Steve comes into work. He goes out to his Teams login, comes out there, and you'll see right away that he's part of, go to the conversation area, the teams, I mean. So you can see that he's part of the same 3 teams that we saw earlier. And hopefully what you see there too is the same message, right? That he sent out about certifications at the very top there. And you can see response there of people are starting to respond in the certifications. You see the message from Mike earlier, right? That he's responding to that certification and that it's done. He also sees the message about the time off request and that Mike has requested time off later that day. And in his mind, he's like, oh crap, this kind of stinks. Now I got to figure out if someone can float into that role. And so he knows Bob is the float nurse on the floor. My wife is actually a float nurse, so I live this world on a regular basis. And so he wants to find out, where's Bob? Is Bob already working somewhere on a floor? And how am I going to get Bob to float in the emergency room later that day? So Steve goes into the chatbot, types where's Bob, and it's going to pull up the information. What's the matter? Oh, it just needs a login. Single sign-on is our favorite. So I'll just give it a sec. So it looks at where Bob punched in, and basically it can track job transfers if people are really into their world of Kronos and they understand job transfers, and you can punch into different areas. And so when it does it for Bob, it shows where Bob is. And so right now he's available to be able to transfer into that department. And so he's like, okay, this is great. So Steve goes back into a conversation. He does a message to both Bob as well as Bob's boss, or manager, and says, hey, could Bob float into the emergency room at 3 o'clock today for the last 4 hours, 3 to 7. And so that message is going to go out to each of those individuals. It's going to get flagged in the conversation area. You'll kind of see the red dot that appears on the left-hand side when a new message is out there. And they'll receive that message. And while we're waiting for Steve to type and for that message to go out, and we have a couple of Kronos employees that are going to be receiving this live, and so hopefully this will come back to us. But while Steve's waiting for that message to get out to them and for them to respond, he remembers the conversation he had with his wife earlier that day about a vacation they want to take. And so within the chatbot, he types in vacation balance. He wants to see how much time he has and if he can take some vacation later that year. So he just types in vacation balance. And not only is it going to bring back his vacation time, but it brings back all of his accrual information, right? So sick time, float time, personal time. There's a carousel that just rotates through. So really great kind of self-service capabilities, takes that burden off of the HR organization and empowers employees to be able to do that. A frontline employee could do that, a manager could do that, anyone who has access to Teams would be able to do that. Another interesting one for managers, because it's a big priority for Steve, is tracking overtime, right? You don't want to pay that time and a half to nurses. And so we put in a number of manager-specific utterances, and one of them is who's approaching overtime. And so he just wants to check that really quick. So he doesn't have to pull a report. He doesn't have to go out to the analytics component of our software. He can just go right within the chatbot and type in who's approaching overtime for this period. And so you can see 2 people on there. So Mike and Bob have about 4 hours of overtime they're already seeing. And then he wants to look at the previous pay period too. So it kind of gives him a couple options. So he can kind of go into the previous pay period and see how much overtime they're already accruing in that area as well. So while that was all happening, the conversation came back with that. Did it come back? We're going to see. Yes. Live demos, ladies and gentlemen. So it came back, right? That Bob can float into that department. So they both said, yeah, I'm available. I can come down and float in the emergency room. And so that's great. And so now Steve's going to go in and he's going to approve that shift swap that happened after he logs back in. It's okay. So he's going to approve that shift swap. And so here's the great thing that happens on the back end with the API integration, right? All of those job transfers, the schedule information, and the timesheet get updated automatically. And so nothing needs to happen. He clicks approve, and all of the back-end systems get updated automatically. And so this is one of the other components. We talked about the chatbot piece and a lot of the utterances that we built. This other one of having a personal tab for dimensions inside of Teams is the other one. And so Steve, even though that all happens automatically in the back end once you approve that time off, he wants to just make sure it happened. And so he can actually go right into Dimensions. So this is Workforce Dimensions, our application. He can look at the schedule and make sure that everything went through as expected. He can do anything within there. He can build a schedule. He can resolve exceptions. He can look at time cards, all from inside Teams. And if he wants to, he can even start a chat message with other people within the team, clicking right there, and it opens up. And you can have a chat message. He could even start a Skype meeting and share his screen so he could talk to someone, have it show up, and be able to look at the schedule together. So if he's working with central staffing, for example, they could both look at the application at the same time. Okay, so I'm going to switch back, and I'm going to be Mike again. And show you one other thing. So you guys might have heard about adaptive cards that are kind of the new piece that are out there. And we did a lot with adaptive cards. We already showed you some that are out there. One of the more interesting ones that we launched with this was Shift Swap. And you probably have heard about that a little bit with some of the other presentations I've seen. Shift swaps are a big deal, right? Just empowering employees to be able to do that on their own are just a really nice area. So we try to make it as simple as possible. So within that chat bot, Mike can just type in Shift Swap. And so it's going to bring up an adaptive card. He's going to pick his shift, so pulls in all the information from the schedule. He wants to get out of his October 1st shift, so he picks that day. And then he can has a number of different options. He can open it up to people within just the emergency room. You can open it up to all of the hospital. You can pick the audience that goes out to. He's going to leave it as broad as possible just to maximize his chances of getting someone to switch shifts. But he could even pick the employee. So if there's a specific person who he switched with before and now he wants to offer it to them again, he could literally pick that employee. And so he just sticks with the defaults that are out there and then submits that shift swap request. And it's going to go out to all of those individuals about receiving a shift swap. We were trying to get one to be able to show you, but it's kind of hard to switch between different personas. So I'm just going to tell you, on the flip side, they're going to get an adaptive card that allows them to accept or decline the shift swap that's out there. And when it's, I think the language is actually a little bit different than even accept. I think it's apply for the shift swap, because ultimately it still has to be approved by the manager. So there's two steps that happen after that's submitted. One is all the employees who want to kind of raise their hand for that shift swap can apply for it. And then ultimately the manager can make the decision on which individual they choose for that shift swap. So there's a lot of configuration components that we give flexibility out to the organization to make happen. And then ultimately, Steve is the one who then approves that. Oh, is that it?
The shift swap request
Oh.
approval form.
Okay, so that's what it looks like from a manager perspective for the approval of the different shift swaps and who's kind of raised their hand to accept that shift swap. So we walked through a number of different examples there, and one of the things that's really important to Kronos in what we call working in the modern cloud, right, is just the new things that you're able to do. And we have this marketing slogan that we use with Workforce Dimensions is just work your way. Right? And that theme initially, even as a company on our side, we would think of it as, well, you can work on your desktop, or you can work on your laptop, or you can work on your mobile phone because we have responsive design, and isn't that cool? Well, through our integrations and through being able to leverage these API integrations with partners like Microsoft, we've been able to change that even more, right? Where now it's not necessarily what device are you using, it's like, well, you can do it all from within Teams. You don't even need to go into our application. And so that's just Teams. We also have an integration with Outlook. So we have an Outlook add-in, and it has an iframe where you just open it up on the side panel navigation. So you could do everything within Workforce Dimensions without ever leaving Outlook. So customers have loved that, just as examples of kind of working your way and the flexibility that comes with that. And we did all of this work with Dimensions for a couple reasons. One was to unburden the manager. When we talk to our customers, what they really want, and I'm sure there's customers out here who would agree, they want their manager to spend less time in our application and more time with their customers or their staff, right? And so how can we make it as easy as possible? And hopefully you see examples of what that is and what we're delivering here to just try and unburden the managers. And then the other is empowering their employees, right? By giving them self-service capabilities, allowing them to take more control over their schedule. So again, Teams and Workforce Dimensions together are just a great platform to make that happen. And we didn't even show the components that happen on your smartphone too. But basically everything I showed you, right, can happen right on your smartphone at the same time. And so in the world that we live in, especially in retail and with hospitals, the ability to do that and some of the work that Microsoft I know was doing around HIPAA compliance and GDPR and pieces like that to make sure that people can use their smartphone in a secure way is going to be huge. And so we're really excited about the future and what's coming. So with that, we'll open it up for questions, and whether it's on Workforce Central, the items Swati showed, or anything on Dimensions or Kronos in general. All right, we got a lucky question coming right here.
And this may be more for Microsoft, but you guys may have experience too. My industry may not be that unique, but I've got several thousand in Kronos and only a couple hundred, let's say with an E1 or an E3 license. Is the only way to make that match is to get several thousand E1 licenses, or is there a way to, I know there's a lower like Hotmail to Teams type of, that's like 300 and less and something like that. Is there any type of question on that, or answer?
It's a really good question. And basically the question for other folks is, hey, I've got an investment in Kronos that's covering X% of my workforce, and I've got an investment in Microsoft, which is Y, and I want those to match. From a licensing perspective, yes, you do need a one-to-one, and that's important for kind of being at that individual user base. And so those users can access all that richness in Teams, all the stuff that we just walked through, and so you would need that overlap. It's a great question.
So my question is for Microsoft, and then I have one for...
Cool.
Hard questions there, easy
Yeah.
questions.
Once you import the schedule from Kronos and then you publish it, does it automatically sync with the end user's Outlook calendar?
Yeah, good question. So currently today, we treat the shift experience and how you actually see that kind of time experience separate from an Outlook calendar. That's often the case where someone treats their Outlook experience and their email comms as a slightly separate experience of like, when do I have to be at work and what am I doing there? I think that's a really great example where we're going to bring these together over time, currently separate.
Well, but let me show you what you can do in Dimensions. So this is only on Dimensions, and it's because you just can't do an iframe with our legacy product, Workforce Central. And so Steve's bringing it up, or trying to bring it up. Okay, but what it is, it's just an add-in. It's just an add-in button at the top of Outlook. There's no cost to download it. There is a little bit of cost to deploy it, right? Because it has to be on a server, so you either need to put it in the cloud or put it on your web server. Yeah, so here it is. So you can kind of see it at the top of the screen there, those 4 buttons. You can configure it a number of different ways, but one of those buttons is specifically to be able to sync your work schedule into your Outlook calendar, which is a really great feature on Dimensions because the product itself can't do that unless you leverage this Outlook add-in that we kind of partner with Microsoft to deliver.
And to Mike's point earlier, we want to enable all these different ways people want to work, right? And you've made investments in workforce management. Awesome, you've made investments with us. We know people are going to use different components, and so we want to find all those really compelling points of integration.
And what was your question?
The other question was, for the punches, the punch in, punch out, is there a way to put a gate behind that to say you can only punch in when you're in the building?
So I'd be curious if there is on the team side. So within our product, if you do use our mobile device, there is. You get some geolocation fencing that you can put up.
Yeah, and actually it works when you integrate and Kronos with the Experience of Team Shifts app. All of those regulations and geofencing, everything comes in picture. And based on that, absolutely user needs to be in that area when they're clocking in and clocking out from even the Teams clock-in experience as well.
Okay. Can't punch in from your PJs.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
we've had a lot of problems with that.
Yeah. Actually, we have enabled one more feature in mobile client where you can have shared location experience. And when they're punching in and share location, you are absolutely 200% sure they are there and
Okay.
doing it right. Yeah.
And then one more question for the management side. When you're in the bot, is there a way to ask it, show me everyone who was late today, or show me if someone's missing? Okay.
So there's a who is not here is one utterance that's there, especially for like manufacturing. That's a big deal if you're waiting to start a production line. So you can see who hasn't punched in yet. You can see where is somebody today. So you can, the one that I showed with like Finding Bob, but that works for anyone. You just type in a name. What was the other one you were looking at?
Late. Can you show me who was late?
So no, but what there is we have a Power BI connector that's out there. So all of your workforce management data, you can basically go in and create a Power BI report and pull in whatever information you wanted.
Just add it to the team.
Yeah, you just add that as basically a tab on that top nav into
Yeah.
the team.
Yeah.
And what's cool about that one, Patrick, too, is then you can incorporate third-party data to it. So if you wanted to look at like safety incidents against 8-hour shifts versus 12-hour shifts, or people who work 4 12-hour shifts in a row, is there a spike in safety incidents? Right now you can combine that in Power BI and look at those kind of correlations.
Yeah.
And up on the screen is who is not here. Notice that these people have schedules, but they're not here. They haven't punched in yet.
Perfect.
Yeah, to Mike's point, I love that use case because when you start overlaying like sales data, store data, and scheduling, you can like see really interesting insights, and it's just a great example.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Patrick.
Thank you.
There's got to be a harder question out there. Come on. If not, we're more than happy to, end this. If you've got questions you want to come up and ask. Beyond that, thank you guys for taking the time, and thank you for kind of both the guys who were here and Swati for walking us through the demo. Really appreciate the time.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.